जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। नमो विज्ञान रूपाय परमानंदाय रूपिणे। नमो विज्ञान रूपाय परमानंदाय रूपिणे। कृष्णाय गोपीनाथाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। कृष्णाय गोपीनाथाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। ओ राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। गोविंद गोविंद हरे मुरारी। गोविंद गोविंद मुकुंद कृष्ण। गोविंद गोविंद हरे मुरारी। गोविंद गोविंद मुकुंद कृष्ण। गोविंद गोविंद जटापानि। गोविंद दामोदर माधवी। गोविंद गोविंद जटापानि। गोविंद गोविंद रसापानि। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले नमः शिवाय। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। तेरा पल पल बीता जाए मुख से जप ले राधे गोपाल। राधे गोपाल जय 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 राधे गोपाल।
बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। 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 बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। जटा में गंगाधारी त्रिशूलधारी डमरू बजावे, जूट जटा में गंगाधारी त्रिशूलधारी डमरू बजावे, डम 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 डमरू बजावे। गूंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय, डम 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 डमरू बजावे। गूंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय। जूट जटा में गंगाधारी त्रिशूलधारी डमरू बजावे, जूट जटा में गंगाधारी त्रिशूलधारी डमरू बजावे, डम 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 डमरू बजावे। गूंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय, डम 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 डमरू बजावे। गूंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय, गूंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय, गूंज उठाओ नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम नमः शिवाय। बोलो बोलो सब मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय।
श्री उमापति महादेव की जय, गणेश भगवान की जय, महाशक्ति देवी की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Let us all please stand as we join together in Shri Ganesh Arati.
वक्रतुंड सुषि सुंदर सुहावना, तिलक त्रिपुंज बाल मन भाव, राजत मणि मुक्तन उर्माला, स्वयं मुक्त शिरनेन विशाला ओ जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश ओ जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश एक रंत दयावत चार भुजाधारी एक रंत दयावत चार भुजाधारी माथे सिंदूर सोहे मुसके सवारी माथे सिंदूर सोहे मुसके सवारी दुखियों के दुख हरत पद्मानंद देवा दुखियों के दुख हरत पद्मानंद देवा पद्मानंद देवा पद्मानंद देवा जय जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश जय जय गणेश देवा अंधन को आँख देखा कोरियन को खाया अंधन को आँख देखा कोरियन को खाया भाजन को पुत्र देखा निर्धन को माया भाजन को पुत्र देखा निर्धन को माया भवस पार करो नाथ भजन करो तेरा भवस पार करो नाथ भजन करो तेरा भजन करो तेरा भजन करो तेरा जय जय गणेश जय गणेश दिवा जय जय गणेश जय गणेश जय जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा जय जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश देवा जो तेरा ध्यान करे ज्ञान मिले उसे को जो तेरा ध्यान करे ज्ञान मिले उसे को चोर तुझे और बड़ा दाम है किसे को चोर तुझे और बड़ा दाम है किसे को हे देवा कृपा करो हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा कष्ट हरो मेरा कष्ट हरो मेरा जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश देवा जय गणेश ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे
प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय महाशक्ति देवी की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय Absolutely, please take your seats. So let me at this time, dear devotees, extend to all of you Shubh Swagatam, most cordial welcome to this, the final evening of Sri Ganapati Festival our bhagya, it has been our blessings to be here and to receive of the blessings of Sri Ganesha. So, on behalf of the management of the temple, President Donald and his team, for the sacrifices they have made, on their behalf, I want to especially welcome all of you. Before you know it, this evening will be gone, and of course, the Ganapati festival wouldn't have come to an end. The blessings will come to us in proportion to how much we have given, how much we have done. And I know you have done quite a lot, so you will receive quite a lot. What you give is what you get in return. So blessings to each one of you. Your Panis, Panis Sachidanand Baba, thank you again. Always a pleasure to be in your company, Panavishesh, Panavidesh, and of course our team on stage. It's indeed our pleasure to be here for all of these 10 evenings. This was not our will, it is the will of Sri Ganesh Puran that we should be here and you should be here also. So let us all now, as we look at Sri Ganesh Baba, the glorious image of Bhagwan Ganapati, let us all bow and pray as we do invocation. Haath jod kar with your hands clasped, shir jhukakar with your heads bowed, Nitya Munkar with your eyes. Either you look at the Murti or you close your eyes, whichever one. Let us all pray together. Jai Ganesha.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Saraswati Namaha. Shri Guru Charana Kamale Bhyo Namo. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaye Viche. Aarati karo Shri Ganesha ko. Jai Ganapati Gauri Ganesha. Redhi Siddhi Navnidhi ke Data. Brahma Vishnu Mahesh. Jai Jai Ganesh. Jai Jai Ganesh. Jai Ganapati Gauri Ganesh. Namami Shamisham Nirvana Rupam Vivum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Chidakasham Akasham Vasam Bhajeham. Jnaninama Pichetamsi Devi Bhagavati Saha Balada Krishna Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati. करते हैं तुमको संकट मोचन बजरंगी हनुमान। तुम सब जानो हम तुमसे अब क्या मांगो भगवान। हनुमान हनुमान जय जय बोलो हनुमान श्री राम श्री राम।
प्रेम से बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। So, those of you are standing, please come take up your seats. This is customary, the names of Shri Ganesh with accompanied offerings. And this is the final evening. Of course, we're going to make the 108 offerings and do brass or whatever. So, I know you have come prepared to step up to the altar, and out of faith, out of love, out of devotion, Arpanam you offer to Lord Ganesh. You've touched the feet of Lord Ganesh, you bow, and then you come around the Murti, circumambulate, you come and take up back your seats. So, let us prepare ourselves, as at this time we're going to have the chanting of the 108 names of Shri Ganapati Bhagwan. So, let's all sit back, and of course, Shrotas, you know, I must commend the Shrotas tonight, these 3 little boys, not little, 3 young men, right? I must commend you on the effort that you have made. I must commend your parents also. And of course, my dear Bhaiya is here guiding the children. So, blessings to all of you. So, let's prepare as we have the 108 names of Shri Ganapati Bhagwan. Shrotas first.
प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय। मेडिटेट अपॉन भगवान। हरि ओम एकदंतं महाकायं लंबोदर गजाननं विघ्ननाशं करं देवं हीराम्बं प्रणमाम्यहम्। ओम गं गणपतये हरि ओम गजाननाय नमः। ओम गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम विघ्नराजाय नमः। ओम विनायकाय नमः। ओम द्वैमातुराय नमः। ओम सुमुखाय नमः। प्रमुखाय नमः। ओम सन्मुखाय नमः। ओम कृतिने नमः। ओम ज्ञानदीपाय नमः। ओम सुकनिधये नमः। ओम सुराध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम सुरारिविधे नमः। ओम महागणपतये नमः। ओम मन्याय नमः। ओम महन्मान्याय नमः। ओम मृदात्मजाय नमः। ओम पुराणाय नमः। ओम पुरुषाय नमः। ओम पुष्णे नमः। ओम पुष्करणिने नमः। ओम पुण्यकृते नमः। ओम अग्रगान्याय नमः। ओम अग्रपूजाय नमः। ओम अग्रगामिने ओम मंत्रकृते नमः। ओम चामीकरप्रभाय नमः। ओम सर्वस्मै नमः। ओम सर्वोपक्षाय नमः। ओम सर्वकर्त्रे नमः। ओम ॐ सर्वनेत्रे नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धिप्रदाय नमः ॐ सर्वसिद्धाय नमः ॐ सर्ववन्ध्याय नमः ॐ महाकालाय नमः ॐ महाबलाय नमः ॐ हेरम्भाय नमः ॐ लम्बजरतराय नमः ॐ ह्यस्वग्रीवाय नमः ॐ महोदराय नमः ॐ मधुकथाय नमः ॐ महावीराय नमः ॐ मन्त्रिकृते नमः ॐ मङ्गलदाय नमः ॐ प्रमथर्चाय नमः ॐ प्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ प्रमोदाय नमः ॐ मोदकप्रियाय नमः ॐ त्रितिमते नमः ॐ मतिमते नमः ॐ कामिने नमः ॐ कपित्तप्रियाय नमः ॐ ब्रह्मचारिणे नमः ॐ ब्रह्मारूपिणे नमः ॐ ब्रह्माविदे नमः ॐ ब्रह्मावन्दिताय नमः ॐ जिष्णवे नमः ॐ विष्णुप्रियाय नमः ॐ भक्तजीविताय नमः ॐ जितमन्मथाय नमः ॐ ऐश्वर्यदाय नमः ॐ गुह्यज्ञायसे नमः ॐ सिद्धसेविताय नमः ॐ विघ्नकर्त्रे नमः ॐ विघ्नहर्त्रे नमः ॐ विश्वनेत्रे नमः ॐ विराजे नमः ॐ स्वरागे नमः ॐ श्रीपतये नमः ॐ वाक्पतये नमः ॐ श्रीमते नमः ॐ श्रृङ्गारिणे नमः ॐ श्रीवत्सलाय नमः ॐ शिवप्रियाय नमः ॐ शीघ्रकारिणे नमः ॐ शाश्वताय नमः ॐ शिवनन्दनाय नमः ॐ बलोदधाय नमः ॐ भक्तनिधये नमः ॐ भावगम्याय नमः ॐ भवात्मजाय नमः ॐ महते नमः ॐ मङ्गलदाये नमः ॐ महेशाय नमः ॐ महिताय नमः ॐ सत्यधर्मिणे नमः ॐ सदाधाराय नमः ॐ सत्याय नमः ॐ सत्यपरक्रमाय नमः ॐ शुभङ्गाय नमः ॐ शुभ्रदन्ताय नमः ॐ शुभधाय नमः ॐ शुभविग्रहाय नमः ॐ पञ्चकपातनाशिने नमः ॐ पार्वतीप्रियनन्दनाय नमः ॐ विश्वेशाय ॐ विबुद्धराय नमः ॐ विबुद्धराय पदाय नमः ॐ वीरवरग्रहाय नमः ॐ कुमारगुरुवन्ध्याय नमः ॐ ॐ कुञ्जरासुरभञ्जनाय
नमः
ॐ बलभबलाय नमः ॐ बलभावलभाय नमः ॐ पराभयकरम्बुजाय नमः ॐ सुधाकलशहस्ताय नमः ॐ सुधाकरकलाधराय नमः ॐ पञ्चहस्ताय नमः ॐ प्रदनेशाय नमः ॐ पुरातनये नमः ॐ वरसिद्धिविनायकाय नमः ॐ विघ्नेश्वराय नमः ॐ गणराजाय नमः ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय नमः ॐ एकदन्ताय नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ विघ्नेश्वराय नमः ॐ लम्बोदराय नमः ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय नमः ॐ गौरीनन्दनाय नमः ॐ गं गणपतये नमः ॐ गणपतये नमः ॐ गं 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 गणपतये नमः Hari Om. So, after making the 108 offerings, we put our hands together, we perform Prarthana. You know, this is referred to as the Pancha Ratnam, the jewel mantras of Bhagwan Ganesh that pleases him. On this final night, we meditate on that beautiful form of Bhagwan as we recite the Pancha Ratnam. Hari Om. मोदाकरातमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरञ्जकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते बदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् न तेतरातिभीरकरं न वोतितार्कभास्वरम् न मत्सुरारिनिर्जरं न तादिकापदुर्धरं सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरं समस्तलोकशङ्करं नरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरं धरेतरोरवर्णनं वरेव भद्रमाश्रयम् कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं नमस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनं चिरन्ति नोति भाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिवरचरवनं प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणं कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम् नितन्तकान्तमन्तकान्तमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तरायुकृन्तनां हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिनं तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम् महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमाधरेण योऽन्वयम् प्रगायति प्रभातते हृदि स्मरन् गणेश्वरम् अरोगतामदोषतां सुसाहितिं सुपुत्रतां समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमज्जुपैति सोचिरात् समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमज्जुपैति सोचिरात् ॐ गं गणपतये नमः इति श्री शंकराचार्य विरचितं श्री महागणेश पंचरत्नम। प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय। ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा मोरिया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाबा बोलिया। जय जय गणेश। जय जय गणेश। जय गणपति गौरी गणेश। जय जय गणेश। जय जय गणेश। जय गणपति गौरी गणेश। जय जय 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 गणेश। जय गणपति गौरी गणेश। जय जय गणपति गौरी गणेश। जय जय गणपति गौरी गणेश।
Principal of Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So the Ganapati festival comes every year, celebrating the birthday of Lord Ganesh, but more importantly, the teachings that Lord Ganesh has given to us. The teachings that will make us become the perfected being. When we look at Lord Ganesh, he represents the man of perfection. To those who are engaged in building the murti, the dirt comes from the water, very muddy water. Some of us will not want our hands to touch the water, but we take the dirt out and we come following Vidhi. the rules, and little by little we keep putting them together, and so we form the image. You see? So look where from the muddy waters it reaches on the altar. It becomes pujahar, worthy of image. If you look at ourselves, bhomir apunalovayo khamano buddhi ivacha, right? We are made up of the 5 elements. If you were to rub your hand, what comes out? Male. Parvati Devi rubbed her hands, and that male created Lord Ganesha. You see? So this body is made up of dirt, the air within, the ether within, the liquid, the water within. So this is the Lord Ganesha infused with life. When he is placed on the altar, prana pratishtha is done. Life is infused in that murti, and then begins the worship. In Hinduism, there are 2 aspects of God where no life has to be given to it. You see that Narmada Lingam there? That is already infused with life. Nobody has to say any prana pratishtha. It is already, filled with the life, the presence of Bhagwan Shiva. And you see the Shaligram, the image of Lord Vishnu, no prana pratishtha. You just wash them, put them on the altar, and you begin worshipping. But when this image is made out of dirt, it has to be infused with life, so that those ears can listen to our prayers and those eyes will shower the grace upon us. So, this is the Ganapati festival. Lord Ganesh represents the man of perfection, the perfect being. There's a nice verse in the Ganesh Atharva Shirsa where it says, Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryashu Sarvadam Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Karatasi Tvameva Kevalam Dharatasi Tvameva Kevalam Hartasi Tvameva Sarvam Khalvidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Atmasi Nityam. Beautiful prayer from the Ganesh Atharva Shirsa. O Lord Ganapati, you are the invisible manifestation of the essence of words. Thou art that. You are the doer, the creator, and the sustainer of the universe. You are the destroyer. Verily, you are idam sarvam. You are everything. You are eternal Brahman. You see, that's a beautiful prayer that is recited. He is everything. Tvameva sarvam. When there was nothing, there was Ganesha. And when there will be nothing, here, tomorrow morning, when we put Ganesha in the water, somebody once told me they're going to drown Ganesh. I said, don't say that, Mama. We're going to Sarhal, and we're going to offer Ganesh to the water. So what happens after we put Ganesh in the water? Is there no more Ganesh? Yes. He is going to be in this invisible form. Binu Pagachalai Sudai Binukala. He walks without feet. He hears without ears. So when you put your hands together and say, Oh Ganapati, I have seen so much of troubles. Will you not help me? He will help you. But look at one hand lifted. He says, have patience, abhayam. I will help you when the time comes. You see? So who is he? He is Ganesh. So one question I want to ask you. Why do we put Ganesh in the water? And not in any kind of water. Why do we put Ganesh in the water? I heard somebody, they use a backhoe and they dig a deep hole and they push down Ganesh inside it. My God, I certainly don't want to hear about that, and I will never be in a situation to observe that. That is adharma. That is unrighteous. But who am I to condemn anybody? We do the right thing. We took Lord Ganesh and we put him in the water. And he came from the water. You know why in the water? He is the presiding deity of water. So understand this. Varun Devata is the god of water, but above Varun Devata is Ganesh Bhagwan. So water is his place. So this is why we put him in the water, and of course we dissolve him. The dirt becomes dirt once again. So Panavidesh recited some beautiful, every evening, Pancharatna. Those are powerful mantras of Lord Ganesh. And every evening we bow down our heads to him as we chant this. And I'll just take one of the verse. Samasta loka shankara nirasa daita kunjaram. Jaretaro durang barang vare bhavakta moksham. Kripa karam shamakaram mudakaram yashaskaram manaskaram namaskritam namaskaromi bhashvaram. Lord Ganpati, Lord Ganesh is the supreme reality. He is the Brahma, he is the God. And the verse before we said he creates, he sustains and preserves. The power of Brahma comes from Lord Ganesh, the wisdom. The wisdom to preserve Lord Vishnu gets it from Lord Ganesh. And to reabsorb Lord Shiva gets it from the powers from Sri Ganesha. Rigaveda ne kaha ekam sarabhipra bahuda vadanti. There's only one Lord. Whatever name you call him by, he is the one supreme reality who is bountiful, who is eternal, and the endower of joy and glory to those who worship him. You see what you get by worshiping? You see, he gives you joy and he gives you glory. He gives you all siddhi, all success. He is Suddha Buddha Mukta Swarup. Suddha Bhukta Mukta Swarup. He is the nature of pure consciousness. That is the Ganesha. He is the giver of liberation. He is extolled as Samasta Loka Shankara, one who brings well-being to the entire universe, destroying all evil forces. If you look at Ganesh Puran, so many evil forces like Sindhu and all of those, he is the one who has come to destroy and to give us the blessings. Principle of Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So let's join together as we chant the Lord Ganesh. Tonight we're going to sing, we're going to clap, and if by chance anybody wants to go on the floor, tonight is your night. Join with us.
Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Mangala Murti Moria, Mangala Murti Moria. Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Mangala Murti Moria. Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Mangala Murti Moria. Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Mangala Murti Moria, Mangala Murti Moria. Siddhi Vinayaka Moria, Jai Gananaya, Shri Gananaya, Mangala Murti Moria, Mangala Murti Moria. रमना सिंदूर वरना पंकज रमना सिंदूर वरना पंकज रमना गणपति बाबा मोरिया सिंदूर वरना पंकज रमना गणपति बाबा मोरिया जय गणनायक श्री गणनायक जय गणनायक श्री गणनायक मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया जय गणनायक श्री गणनायक मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया 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 मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया
Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. If you look at that murti or that image, Bhagwan Ganesh is Mangala Murti. Mangal kya hai? Mangal means auspiciousness. Murti is the image of auspiciousness. That is who Ganesh is. And when you have a Ganesh Murti in your home, you have brought in the image of auspiciousness. And auspicious things will come, will follow. So this is why every Hindu has an image of Lord Ganesh in his home, in your mandir, in your prayer room, because he is Mangalamurti Moriyam. The powers of Lord Ganesha. The Ganesh Puran tells us about 4 important blessings of Lord Ganesha. Mahavignam Pramukshati. The greatest of obstacles are removed. You know, he is Vignaharan Vignaharata. It is inevitable in life itself, you have obstacles. Some we can move. This is in my way, I can move it. But if I say, Ganesh Baba, look, this thing is humbling me, come on, move it. You know what Lord Ganesh will say? You're too lazy. He will give us the wisdom. You see? In our spiritual path, there will be obstacles and obstructions. Sometimes you pray and like God and listen to your prayers. Happens. Don't give up, you see. Lord Ganesh is one who removes the obstructions in your pathway. So the greatest obstacles are removed. But if you don't believe, nothing works. Mahapapa Pramukshate. The greatest sins are destroyed through Lord Ganesh. So that doesn't mean to say you keep committing sins and then you go to Lord Ganesh Baba, remove my sins. No. He gives you the wisdom not to repeat the mistakes that we have made. See, Lord Ganesh is not about puja and prayers, you know. It's not only about flowers and fruits. It's about a way of life that we can be successful. Sarva dosha pramukshite, the third powers, the third blessings. Sarva dosha pramukshite, all faults, all errors are forgiven. That's the power of Lord Ganesha. Sasarva Vidya Bhavati. Lord Ganesh blesses all with the right knowledge. This is a great blessing that Lord Ganesh gives to us. So now, the next question is, what is the color of Lord Ganesha? Everybody does Ganesh Puja. People say, Baba, what color to put up for Lord Ganesh? So if I tell you, put up a black, they say, no, Baba, that's not right. What are the colors? So it is one of the colors is the turmeric color. As you know, this, let me ask all of you, we have very intelligent people sitting. Turmeric and, saffron and hardi, is it the same? Saffron and hardi, is it the same? No, there's a difference, right? There's a difference. We're not going to that. So the turmeric color, right? Your yellow color of Lord Ganesh. And you know, when we worship Lord Ganesh in the yellow color, when a person is trying to harm you, to stop that person. Right? Sometimes people want to harm us, right? For no reason at all. You can stop that person, turn to Lord Ganesh, and of course you have the turmeric color, the yellow color of Lord Ganesh, and of course you need the mantra. I wouldn't give you the mantra, right? Because I don't want you to go in that path. Secondly, the color of Lord Ganesh, crimson. crimson color of Lord Ganesh to attract people towards you and your work. Worship a crimson colored Ganesha. Well, I'll give you the mantra for that if you want to attract anybody towards you or towards the work you are doing. To destroy negativity, hatred, and enemies, the dark colored Ganesh is going to be worshipped. He is Uchishta Ganapati. To cast away evil spirits, then you will worship a brown colored Ganesha. To attract the persons towards you for marriage, or maybe for a job, or for harmony, red colored Ganesh is worshipped. Red colored Ganesh. Then for wealth and prosperity, you're going to have the golden colored Ganesh. You have the golden Shiva, the golden Durga, the golden Ganapati. And for enlightenment, pure white color of Lord Ganesha. You see, so it depends on the puja you do, but traditionally we use the yellow color for Lord Ganesha, right? The saffron color. So you worship Lord Ganesh in this beautiful form. So that is the Ganesh the world all over is worshipping. So let's join together as we have another beautiful kirtan and then we will continue.
Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Vigna ko harana mangal karan, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Vigna ko harana mangal karan, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Siddhi Vinayak, Jai Garnayak, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Siddhi Vinayak, Jai Garnayak, Jai Jai Mangal Murtiya, Jai Jai Mangal Murtiya. Bolo Jai Jai Mangal Murtiya. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh Moria. Bolo Shri Gajanand, Jai Gajanand, Jai Jai Ganesh
Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. So there are so many different forms of Lord Ganesh. I'm sure you have seen them all. Ganesh is the moon. Ganesh playing tabla. Every possible thing Ganesh is portrayed as. But you see, the form we have here is the one who has one. Vishesh told you that this Ganesh was worshipped when Lord Krishna came. Right? When Lord Krishna came, this is the Ganesh who was worshipped, and up to today he is worshipped until thy kingdom come. His worship will always be. But you know, there's a form which is Panchamukha Ganesha. Now Lord Shiva has a form with 5 heads, Panchamukha Shiva. Hanumanji has a form with 5 heads, Panchamukha Hanuman. Lord Ganesh has, the beautiful form where he possesses 5 heads. So Panchamukha Shiva, Panchamukha Hanuman, Panchamukha Ganesh, and of course Panchamukha Brahma. Brahma originally had 5 heads, but for some sin he committed, one of the heads was taken away. So he has 4 heads. So the 5-headed form of the Lord. There's a Shivlingam in which you have the 5 forms of Lord Shiva, the 5 faces. So the Shivlingam, on the 4 sides you have 4 faces, and on the top you have the face facing upwards. All those are images we have in Hinduism. So the 5-faced form of Lord Ganesha. Pancha means how much? Panchamukha, 5 faces. Panchamukha Ganesh is the embodiment of all potencies, all powers. That's the very, you see all those 5-faced forms, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, all of them, very powerful forms. The most powerful form of Hanuman to worship is the 5-faced form Panchamukha Hanuman, also Lord Ganesha. The most relevant meaning of the 5-faced Ganesh is certainly that those are very symbolic. The 5 faces represent the 5 koshas, the 5 bodies. So the first one represents Annamaya Kosha, that is the body, the fleshy body. The next one represents Pranamaya Kosha, that's the breath body or the body, the energy within. The next one is Manomaya Kosha, that is the mental body. The Vijnamaya Kosha, the body of consciousness. And the Anandamaya Kosha, the body of cosmic bliss. So that's just an interpretation of, the 5 heads of Sri Ganesha. So the Panchamukha Hanuman, the 5 faces, symbolizes pure consciousness. Pure consciousness, without any distinction or qualification. This form of Lord Ganesh, the powers, when kept in a home or an office. So where can you keep a Panchamukha Hanuman? Panchamukha Ganesh. In your home. You have one home? Nothing is wrong. Having one home. Do you have one in your office? Yes, you can have it in your office. And this brings auspicious vibrations of spirituality, harmony, and bliss. You see, this brings spirituality, harmony, and bliss. When I say harmony, I mean have money, harmony. Okay, right. It brings bliss, happiness into your homes. Placing this form of Panchamukha Ganesh towards the east. So you place this image towards the east. What direction is Ganesh Baba on the altar facing? I'm from Shobana, so I know the direction here changed. Right? So you can place him in any direction. But you see, the Bhairav image of Lord Shiva must face west. You see, you have certain prescriptions we have to follow. So, placing Panchamukha Ganesh facing the east, either in your home or office, will work wonders. It will work wonders. Try it and you will experience it. When you look at Ganesh's head, very easy to identify. He is widely known as the remover of obstacles. We tired here that. He is the patron saint. He is the patron of arts and sciences. He is the god of the intellect and wisdom. Vidyarambhe vivahe cha praveshe nirgame tatha sangrame sankata chava vighnastasya jayate. He is honored at the beginning of rituals, pujas, ceremonies, and of course, he is worshipped vivah samay at commencement of education, beginning a project, entering a home, signing a project, whatever it is, always Ganesh. So Lord Ganesh is popular all over the world. Some years ago when we went to Mexico and we were going through this town, we saw this huge Ganesh in front of the store. So I stopped and said, that is a Ganesh, right? I asked the boys, that is a Ganesh? Yes. And right in front of the store. And all those Mexicans, namaste, namaste, namaste. They think we're from India. So they tell me, namaste, namaste. Right? So you see, Ganesh has a place everywhere. There's not a place where Ganesh is not to be found. So that's the same Ganesh we worship, whether you worship him in this form, in the five-face form, whichever form, he is the cosmic being, the one Lord, the supreme reality. Don't get misled. There's only one God in Hinduism. And when you worship that one God in any form, koi kehe Ram, koi Sham Ghanasham, some people call him Sri Ram, some call him Sri Krishna, some call him Hanuman, some call him Kali, whatever name, Ekam. It's only the one Lord. So let's sing to that one Lord again for the Vishesh, and then we will continue.
Om Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Namaha. Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Gam Gam Ganapati Namaha. Om Gam Gam
reason for the popularity of Lord Ganesh. It is said, the popularity of Lord Ganesh worship, from rich to poor, from their homes, their houses to their temples, country attributed for various reasons. The richest people in the world, they worship Lord Ganesh, you know that? The richest people, they have mountains of wealth, and they still worship Lord Ganesh. It's drawn to my attention, you know, one of the richest men in India, Ambani, he celebrated Ganesh Puja. And can you imagine the amount of sweets, different colors, you know, different varieties? Richest man in India. He too celebrated Lord Ganesh. He invited people like Salman Khan. And who is the next fella? Yes, all those stars were invited in his home in Bombay. Shah Rukh Khan. Hear the names? And they all came and they celebrated. They took the thali and they did arati for Lord Ganesh. Because they know the value and the benefit of worshipping Lord Ganesh. But here, some people, they don't get the time to come and offer one dugras to Lord Ganesh. That's their blessing. You see? So the rich and the poor, they have the faith. It all amounts to faith, believing. If you don't believe, nothing works. You see? So, Ganesh Bhagwan. Now, suppose you don't have an image of Lord Ganesha. You don't have a picture, you don't have, you know, the murti out of brass or whatever. What will you do? It's very easy to make an image of Lord Ganesh. This one wasn't easy. It took a lot of time and effort. You see? So to make an image of Lord Ganesh, wrap a kacha thread around a small piece of clay. Take a little piece of clay and you wrap that thread around it, and that becomes a Ganesh. So easy. So we don't have any excuse. Wrap a thread around a piece of cow dung, you know, the gobar. Right? Wrap a piece of thread around that, and that becomes the image of Lord Ganesha. 2 pieces of doob grass tied it together becomes a Ganesha. You see? Just 2 pieces of doob grass tied together becomes a Ganesha. A supari. You know what a supari is? A supari is also used, wrapped with a piece of thread. I remember doing that when I now started to do puja and people didn't have murtis. Take the supari, wrap it with the thread, and Gam Ganapati Nama, you worship. We could still do that today. So, image of Lord Ganesh is supari. Or we can take the turmeric, right, wrapped in thread, also is the form of Lord Ganesh, the hardi. You know, long ago when I started as a pandit, this was very prevalent. You mix the hardi powder, right? And make it nicely, like a cone, and you put that on a bedi. That is Ganesh Baba. See how easy and how nice? All of those represent Shri Ganesh Bhagwan. So, now the swastika. You know what a swastika is? Right? Vic, remember when I did programs, how you boys pulled up a nice swastika many times? Yes. You know, before I tell you what a swastika is, so when you give dakshina to Baba, what do you say? You have to say something, you know. Right? You say, Om Krishna, which means to say, Lord Krishna has blessed me with this that I am going to give to you, Baba. Please accept this. That's a blessing, Krishna Arpan. So when Baba accepts it, what does he say? Om Swasti. And he says, Swasti, for your well-being and your welfare, I have accepted this. May all blessings come to you. You see how interesting it is? In the name of Bhagwan Krishna you have given, and I pronounce my blessings to you for your welfare, for your well-being. So, Swasti, Swastika, right? So, Swasti for your well-being. What is a swastika? You see the swastika, when you go Google it and you'll see what a swastika is. Right? Nice, beautiful form. On the four sides you have the four dots. So it is said, put some rice grains on the swastika. Now let me ask you one question. What kind of rice? Parboiled rice? White rice. Okay, that was all fun, right? You know, you put some rice on the swastika, right? It symbolizes Lord Ganesh. So the swastika with a little bit of rice in it becomes the image of Ganesha. So the next one is put a roli. What is a roli? Turmeric powder mixed with lime. And put a dot on that. And that becomes Shri Ganesh. All of these symbols are used in the worship of Lord Ganesh. You see, friends? So, very simple. These are some simple, non-traditional ways of, making Ganesh. So let's sing to Lord Ganesh again.
गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया एक दंत जय मोरिया गौरी सुत जय मोरिया एक दंत जय मोरिया गौरी सुत जय मोरिया जय लंबोदर मोरिया भक्त देव जय मोरिया जय लंबोदर मोरिया भक्त देव जय मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया विघ्न विनायक मोरिया जय लंबोदर मोरिया विघ्न विनायक मोरिया जय भुवनेश्वर मोरिया जय विघ्न विनाशक मोरिया जय भुवनेश्वर मोरिया गजानंद जय मोरिया विद्यावान जय मोरिया गजानंद जय मोरिया विद्यावादिनी मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया जय गिरिनंदन मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया भवानंदन मोरिया जय शिवनंदन मोरिया भवानंदन मोरिया जय शिवनंदन मोरिया जय मोरक प्रिय मोरिया अष्ट विनायक मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया सिद्धि विनायक मोरिया गिरिजानंदन मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बाबा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया।
बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय। He is Siddhi Vinayak. Another name for Lord Ganesh is Vinayak, Siddhi, the one who gives success. So that's all we want from Lord Ganesh, that we will have success. There was this old lady, very poor. She was sickly and she was blind. I don't like to say this story, I feel sorry for the lady. But every day she will fix her orni nicely in her head and go in front of Ganesh Baba, hardly see the image, and she used to pray. From her heart, a prayer coming. And then, so devoted she was to Ganesh Baba. One day Ganesh Baba appeared in front of her and said, Mai, you have been so dedicated to me. Kya ichha hai? What is your desire? I am the fulfiller of desires. You see, that mushak represents desires. I ride on that mushak to fulfill the desires of my devotees. Kya ichha hai? What is your desire? So poor old lady, she didn't know what answer to give. She said, Baba, let me discuss this now with my family and I'll come back. So she went to her son and said, Beta, kya ichha hai? What you want? Ganesh Baba will give it to you. He says, Ma, we are poor. Look at this little jhopri we're living in. We don't have anything. Ask Lord Ganesh to give us wealth. So just then the daughter-in-law came. He said, Bahu, tell me, what do you want? He said, Ma, I want to have a son. If you ask Ganesh Baba for a grandson, I will get a son. What do you think about these wishes? So the neighbors came over. So, neighbor, tell me what to ask for. He said, lady, you're blind, you can't see, you're sick, and you're so poor. Why don't you ask for someone to help you? So, she went back to pray. Ganesh Baba said, Mike, did you tell me what you want? He said, oh Baba, give me good health. I want to say how much of you're smart or you're real smart. You know what her answer is? Give me good health so that I can see my grandson eaten from golden plates. Me, so smart. Where did she get that wisdom from? Nobody told her. Look how she put it in words. That's the blessing of Lord Ganesha. Give me health so that I can see my grandson eaten from golden plates. That's a blessing. You may not get golden plates, you might get something that is, more important than golden plates. So, एक समय की बात है कि अमरावती में देवताओं के सभी जोड़े थे. देवराज इंद्र अपने राज सिंहासन पर विराजमान थे. It so happened once in Amravati. Amravati is the capital of Lord Indra's law. So, in that beautiful capital, what happened? The devatas all assembled together. देवराज इंद्र अपने राज सिंहासन पर विराजमान है. And Lord Indra, the Lord of the heavens, he was sitting on his singhasan. How do you call this seat on which I am sitting on? How do you call the seat on which Ganesh is sitting on? It is called Singhasan. Singh is a lion, asan, the seat of the lion. So when you sit on this seat, do I look like a lion? You must be fierce in knowledge. A Singhasan is not a place where you sit and, okay, I don't want to say anything before people feel I am throwing words. This is a seat where you disseminate knowledge. The knowledgeable one, you read from the books, and you give the people the teachings, the knowledge. So, they all gather together. And you know how you call that gathering? Sat Sang. Tonight you have come temple, you have come puja, you have come prayers, you have come Sat Sang. So, what happens in a Sat Sang? There's a nice chopai. Let's do Sri Ram Jai Ram because we are about to conclude. Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Everybody. Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Everybody. Binu sata sanga vivek na hoye, nama kripa bin sulabhan soye. Bolo Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Lord Shiva says, Vinu Sata Sangha Vivekana Hoi. You know what you get out of satsang? You get that kind of knowledge. You see, look at Lord Ganesh. The elephant's trunk. You know what that trunk could do? It can uproot the biggest of trees. Or it can lift the smallest of pins. That's the power of that trunk, the power of discrimination. Discrimination, yes. That is the blessing. Right? So, Bhagavan Ganesh, he is the one who can perform even the greatest of tasks. So, in satsang, what happens? Satsang transforms. You know what is the power of transform? And the power of satsang? It changes us. When you go to satsang, there must be some little change that you must institute. You must change. We can't do the same thing all the time and expect different results. Right? You know, satsang gives you the knowledge to be able to do things differently, to achieve success, to be like Ganesh Bhagavan. So always remember, satsang. You know, once I was doing, well, I don't want to call the place, you know, satsang. Now started to read, you know, very eager to give a discourse. When I watch in front of me, there's this young girl, and you know what she was doing? Chewing gum. It's all right, but you know, that distracted me. So chewing gum, she started to blow bubbles. Then I make up it. And after a while, bubbles burst, mess up her face. So the next half of the katha, she's trying to take out the bubbles, the chewing gum. That is satsang. You desecrate in satsang. You don't come to satsang chewing your gum. Leave that outside. Okay, I shouldn't tell you that, but we need to understand. Satsang is about changes in our life. So, Lord Indra is sitting on a singhasan. उसी समय गंधर्व राजकाज में भी उपस्थित हुए. Just then, one of the Gandharvas, the heavenly being, his name was Crouch, he came to the assembly. उसी किस कार्य वश शीघ्र ही कहा जाना था. So while satsang is in progress, everybody's eyes are closed. This Gandharva, some urgency, he got up and he is walking out of the satsang. उसी कार्य for some reason, इसलिए उसने देवराज में आज्ञा की और उठकर चले गए. So as he was going, it so happened while going out, his foot happened to strike one of the great sages. His name was Vamdev Rishi. Not intentionally, accidentally, he happened to strike Vamdev Rishi. So what happened? इसमें महर्षि ने अपना अपमान समझाया. महर्षि क्रोधित हुए. Now, Vamdev Rishi, suddenly his meditation is broken. He jumped up and he got angry. So what happened? उन्हें तुरंत ही उसे शाप दे दिया. And in a fit of anger, he pronounces saraf. What is a saraf? And he pronounces saraf upon this celestial being. And what did he say? अरे मूर्ख गंधर्व, ऐसे मत मत हो रहा है कि बैठे हुए मुझ पर शांत मुनि को लात मारता. He says, look, I am sitting peacefully and you come and broke my meditation for no reason of mine. You struck me with your foot. That's one thing we must never do. You know, to strike anything. If you want to kick a football, that is all right. But never ever use the foot itself to strike. Sometimes you see a dog and you hit the dog one kick. Arey bhaiya, you know who that dog was? No, never ever ill-treat any animal. Never ever, no matter what that animal is. Always be kind to those creatures. He says, Jato Moshe Banega. He says, you struck me, the penalty for that is you will become a mushak. What is a mushak? Okay, we are permitted to say the English only once. What is a mushak? A rat. So why did he pronounce the mushak upon him? Because when you look at the mushak, it never stays quiet. It runs here, jumps here. It is on the go all the time. It never sits quietly, and this celestial being, like a mushak, he couldn't sit quietly. You see? So we have to be very careful. Gandharva और शाप को सुनकर भयभीत हो गए. So when the celestial, he is a heavenly being. When he heard what slap is pronounced upon him, he started to tremble. व्याकुल हो गए, and he became very distressed. उसने महर्षि से क्षमा मांगी. You know what he did? क्षमा means what? I will forgive you, but I ain't gonna forget you. Upon made that statement. And he says, look what happened. क्षमा means he asked for forgiveness. बस महर्षि से क्षमा मांगी, रोया गिर गिरा, तो महर्षि को दया आ गई. He started crying. Can you imagine? When you see somebody crying, it must touch your heart. Good? So, Bamdev Rishi, he felt sad. He felt sorry rather. To Moshe ko avashya hoga. He says, I cannot withdraw the saraf. You will certainly have to be born. Hinduism says, 84 lakh yoni, 8,400,000 species created by Bhagavan. Okay, question is, which is the most difficult to obtain, but the greatest form? Which is the greatest form? Did you look at yourself in the mirror? That is the greatest form created by Bhagavan. And what is most difficult? To be born as a person. All the good things we do in our lifetime will, accumulate, and we will be born in one of the greatest forms created by Bhagavan. So from the heavens, he has to be transformed into that mushak. Kintu Devadi Dev Gajanan ka Vahan hone. So, he kept begging. Forgive me, क्षमा करो मेरी भूल, नात मैं हूँ चरणों के धूल. And he fell at the feet, seeking forgiveness. So, Bamdev Rishi, he felt sorry for him. But one of the things we can never withdraw is the spoken word. I think, how many things there are? Radhika, 4? I can't remember. That's in my school days, young days. What we could, So, one of the things we could never withdraw is the spoken word. Right? So, before you're going to say anything, you have to think first. Because every word has, it has an effect. One of the most powerful tools we have, you see, this thing called words. Sometimes you say, I will let them have it. But when you let them have it, how will you feel after? You never feel good. Right? So one of the things, you see, I told you about the 3 marks in the Anytime you put 3 marks on the Shivlingam, it tells you control your thought, your tongue, and your temper. What you think, what you say, and what you do. Because in the end, it's like a net you cast over yourself. So, surely you will become a Mushak. That is inevitable. But then, he said, you will be very close to Gajanan. Kintu Devadi Bhagavan ka Vahan. You'll become the Vahan. You know what the Vahan is? Anybody rode a bicycle to come here? Nobody? Your Vahan is the mode of transport. Okay? So, you will become the Vahan of Lord Ganesh. And anywhere Lord Ganesh wants to go, he will use you to take him wherever he wants to go. You see? But look at that little Mushaka, look at that huge Ganesh. He started to chum, he says, Ganesh Baba, when you sit upon me, what will happen? Maraja. So Ganesh said, I will become as light as a feather, have no fear. Right? So the Mushak came, and what happened? He fell in the ashram of Parasar Muni. Great sin. And so he started to create havoc in the ashram of Parasar Muni. You see, he could only do what he knows to do. Destroying the food, destroying the grains, destroying the books, destroying the garden, everything. And in the end, what will happen? Parasar Muni had to seek help. And the help he had to get was the worship of Lord Ganesh. So Lord Ganesh will take him. You see, if you look at Lord Ganesh, you see a rope in his hand? Right? You see the rope in his hand? That is what he's going to use to draw Ganesh, rather the Mushak towards him. And so, now, it has a very lengthy katha. So the part I wanted to share with you was how Ganesh, he became the Vahan, rather Mushak became the Vahan of Lord Ganesh. So Parasar Muni sat on there and he started to worship Lord Ganesh. And worshipping Lord Ganesh, what will happen? Vishnu is going to do us this bhajan, and then we will conclude.
बिनती हमारे प्रभु, बिनती हमारे, कर दो मंगल काज सुन लो, बिनती हमारे, हे गौरा के लाल सुन लो, बिनती हमारे, हे गणपति गणराज सुन लो, बिनती हमारे, हे गौरा के लाल सुन लो, बिनती हमारे, कर दो मंगल काज सुन लो, बिनती हमारे, हे गणपति गणराज सुन लो, बिनती हमारे, हे गणपति गणराज सुन लो, बिनती हमारे। एक चंद्र गज वर्ण विराजे, काहे पियारे जाए राजे। एक चंद्र गज वर्ण विराजे, काहे पियारे जाए राजे। शिव शंकर के लाज सुन लो, बिनती हमारी, हे गौरा के लाल सुन लो, बिनती हमारी, हे गणपति गणराज सुन लो, बिनती हमारे। मोरा का प्रिय मोरा मंगल दायक, विद्यावान भी बुद्धि विधाता। मोरा का प्रिय मोरा मंगल दायक, विद्यावान भी बुद्धि विधाता। राखो शरण में राज सुन लो, बिनती हमारी, राखो शरण में राज सुन लो, बिनती हमारी, बिनती हमारे प्रभु, बिनती हमारे, बिनती हमारे प्रभु, बिनती हमारे, कर दो मंगल काज सुन लो विनती हमारी, हे गौरा की लाल सुन लो विनती हमारी, हे गौरा के लाल सुन लो विनती हमारी, हे गणपति गणराज सुन लो विनती हमारी, हे गणपति गणराज सुन लो विनती हमारी।
Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So we'll pause the katha at that point because I want to introduce to you the Moshak. Now, what is this Moshak? You see, Lord Ganesh, next name is the Moshak. And the Moshak has his eyes on what? On the fruits that are offered. The Moshak represents the ego, E-G-O. Everybody has an ego, I too, you too, all of us. But what do we have to do? Drop the E and go towards Lord Ganesh. That's what we have to do, drop the E. So, the ego within each personality has the potential to eat away the mountain of merits. You see all the merits we have? This thing called the ego, the pride within, right? It has the potential to destroy all our merits. But Lord Ganesh has the Moshak under control. A tree laden with fruits hangs downwards. A tree that does not have any fruits, it goes higher. Each one has its value. So the ego, it is what makes us hold our head so high and push out our chest as if nobody is as good as we are. That is the ego. It's destructive. It takes away the humility within. Ego is what pushes up the arrogance. Why do people like us? I know why people like me. Because of humility. And I like all of you because of humility. Right? So in the end, the mountain of merits will be destroyed. And this ego is called the Moshak. It is called the Moshak, or the mouse, the power of desire. So the Moshak represents the ego, and secondly, it represents the power of desire. If you look at Lord Ganesh, two tusks. I remember when I finished, I won't forget that. He talked about where Kartikeya pelted Lord Ganesh with a laddu and knocked out one of his tusks. Sounds like fun, right? But it's only that from the village, where get that from, boy? That's from the Ganesh Puran, eh? He didn't make up that. So, the two tusks, one is broken out. One. Two desires. Everybody has two desires, right? One is material and one is spiritual. In the case of Lord Ganesh, the material desire is knocked out, and there's only the spiritual desire. The man of perfection is who? Ganesha. He's the perfect man. And that is what we must become. Perfect souls come to me and are never subjected to rebirth, Lord Krishna says. You want to attain salvation, liberation, we have to become perfect. Right? You see, the dirt was used and molded. The dirt which represents the imperfect or the impure is molded into the image of Lord Ganesha to become perfect. So, how to put this? Our dirty ways, our dirty habits, I don't want to use the word dirty. We have to mold this into perfection. So, Ganesh is one who is so perfectly mastered the urge, the desire. Lord Ganesh has mastered the urge or the desire. And when Lord Ganesh, who is the master, he wants to play his part in blessing the world, he rides upon the Moshak, which is the desire to fulfill. He comes to fulfill the desires, to serve, to fulfill the desires. You see? So Lord Ganesh is whom? He is the man of perfection, the perfect being. The Moshak represents the ego, E-G-O, or the desire. And you know, there was this weaver saint. This saint is to weave beautiful saris, beautiful clothing. So one day, a young, arrogant person came to him. He took up the most expensive sari and said, "How much for this?" He's giving him the prize. So you know what this arrogant person did? He tore the most expensive saree in two. So he took up half and said, how much for this? So the saint told him how much for that. He tore up the whole saree in pieces. He said, how much for this? The saint said, you have torn up the most expensive saree I have woven. I will do a next one. But you know what you have done? Your ego has torn up your life. It is your ego that has caused all of this. Go transform yourself. So you see, always remember, the ego is a destructive force. That motion, when it gets in your home, you know what happens? We cannot have peace in that home. So always remember, humility comes from wisdom. When you have the wisdom, you'll be a very humble person. Arrogance comes from the ego. You see, that's the message that Lord Ganesh gives to us. And what happens from here will take us now into tomorrow night's katha. So all are coming tomorrow, right? No, that's the end for this year. Principal of Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. So at this time, Havan is done. And I took the liberty this evening to go a little longer because on Thursday evening, you're going to sit in the comfort of your home and you're going to see the same program, which, had to be lengthened so that we'll fill the time that is needed. So, blessings to all of you. Let's all please stand as we go into our closing at this time. Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai.
Vigna Harana Ganana Tujhe Kripa Karo Maharaj Tum Avalambyo Asana Rakhiyo Mere Raj. O Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva, O Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva, Jai Jai Ganesh, Jai Jai Ganesh Deva. दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी, माथे सिंदूर सोए मुसके सवारी, माथे सिंदूर सोए मुसके सवारी, दुखियों के दुखारत परमानंद देवा, दुखियों के दुखारत परमानंद देवा, परमानंद देवा, परमानंद देवा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। अंधन को आँख देखा कोरियन को खाया, अंधन को आँख देखा कोरियन को खाया, भाजन को पुत्र देखा निर्धन को माया, भाजन को पुत्र देखा निर्धन को माया। भाव से पार करो ना भजन करो तेरा, भाव से पार करो ना भजन करो तेरा, भजन करो तेरा, भजन करो तेरा। जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। जो तेरा ध्यान कर ज्ञान मिले उसको, जो तेरा ज्ञान कर ज्ञान मिले उसको, चोर तुझे और बलगावे किसको, चोर तुझे और बलगावे किसको। हे देवा कृपा कर कशहर मेरा, हे देवा कृपा कर कशहर मेरा, कशहर मेरा, कशहर देवा। जय जय गणेश, 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 जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा, जय जय गणेश, जय जय गणेश देवा। ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे, मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे, मोरिया 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 रे, मोरिया 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 रे, मोरिया रे बाबा 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 मोरिया रे, मोरिया 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 रे, मोरिया 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 रे, मोरिया 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 रे, मोरिया 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 रे, मोरिया रे बाबा 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 मोरिया रे।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। So this brings us to the closing of our yagya, final arati, final prarthana. So this is the time we spend the 10 days here. Let us pray. Wherever we spend your 10 days, let us pray together as we ask Bhagwan Ganesha for whatever our needs are. As you pray, I pray all of us collectively.
मंत्रहीनम क्रियाहीनम भक्तिहीनम जनार्दनम यत पूजितम मया देवा परिपूर्णं तदस्व मे प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जयमङ्गलम्। जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरा पार्वती, पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती, पिता महादेवा। नरवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा, नरवन को भोग लगे संत करे सेवा। जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा। जय गणेश, जय गणेश, जय गणेश देवा। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव वेद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ शान्ति, ॐ शान्ति, ॐ शान्ति, ॐ शान्ति,
Beloved Lord, grant us patience for the daily duty. Keep us humble, never seeking praises. Make us conscious of the things of beauty as we go our quiet ways, Prabhu. Make us wise, for there are difficulties. Make us calm amidst the storm and strife. Make us worthy to receive thy unfailing blessings, Ganapati, Shri Ganesh, we're indeed glad and grateful for the joys of life. In your most holy name, we pray. प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, नौ दुर्गा माता की जय। प्रेम और शक्ति से बोलो सत्य सनातन धर्म की सकल पंच जय जय सीताराम। Please take your seats. So it has been a wonderful 10 days. And we must say many thanks to Daniel and his team for giving us the opportunity to spend the 10 evenings at this beautiful Mandir. Mandir, who is doing so much when it comes to Dharma and otherwise. So Dan, over to you for your blessings.
Thank you very much, Guruji, Pandit Deodath Vyas, our officiating Pandit Adibedi, our resident Pandit, Pandit Sachidanand, Pandit Videsh, Pandit Vishesh, members of the Bhajan group, and all of you all gathered here, Sitaram. Before I move on, let me recognize the principal of Debe Hindu School, Miss Usha Rampasad, very active in these parts. So, Miss, it would be remiss of me not to ask you to say a few words before I start. So, Miss, would you say a few words? And we know Miss could talk, so Miss will say a few words.
Our most revered Vyas, Pandit Andi Bedi, our Shrotas, Pandit and the team on the side here singing so lustrous tonight. Devotees, I see colleagues as well, ladies and gentlemen. Baba, all I could say is I hope that Bhagwan Ganeshji continue to shower his blessings upon you. Tonight, Katha was so very inspiring to sit and listen to you tonight. It was really enjoyable. I can't believe the time flew so very lovely. When I look at you, you are ageless and you are timeless. And I hope you continue to be like that. All I can say is listening to what Baba would have said, one of the very most important things was that, Ganesh Baba blesses us with success. But to get that success, we must have the wisdom to be able to distinguish how to achieve that success. And that's something I want. One of the things when we leave kathas like this, we must take with us to remember. So all of you may have something different that you would have taken tonight, but take that something and improve the quality of life that you would have had. To the members of this temple and the management team headed by none other than distinguished Donnell, Sir Donnell, who I've known for many, many years, maybe most of his lifetime as an educator. From that so long ago, I would have known him. And I've always known him to be in Dharma. I've always known him to serve his school, his community, with distinction when it comes to religion and Dharma. Donnell, you do human service to all, especially to the Mahasabha and all our schools. He's very involved in the operations of Bal Vikas and temples and the committees, and he's very active. I do not know where he gets the time, but maybe he's an embodiment of Baba himself, Shri Ganesh, because he's the embodiment of everything. We strive for perfection. And, we must always look to emulate the good qualities from the people within our fold. And Donald is one of those people. There are many of you here. I see a lot of colleagues who I know also, and many of you would have those qualities. But continue to achieve that. I want to wish Bhagwan's blessings on each and every one of us, the removal of obstacles, the bestower of wisdom and knowledge. So enjoy the rest of the evening. And I know from this period of time, Baba said we'll be here tomorrow. But in our traditions and custom and religion, something else starts tomorrow, which is another time to worship our pitris. So God, Bhagwan's blessings to everybody. Donald, keep up the fantastic job.
Thank you very much for those kind words, Miss. And of course, thank you very much for coming. Our pundits, they are the backbone of our dharma. And I want to recognize Pandit Rudanan Maharaj. He's here with us. So, Baba, would you share your blessings for short? And Pandit Rudy is an avid supporter of our Mandir and his family. And he is the brother of Pandit Sachidanand, who's with us all the time here.
Thank you, Sitaram. Panditji, other distinguished Pandits, invited guests. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so just in one short bandana in praise of Lord Ganesh, join with me. Om Sumukashchekadantasya Kapilo Gachakarnaka Lambo Dadascha Vikito Vignanasho Vinayaka Dhumraketu Ganadhaksho Bhalachandro Gajanana Dwade Shaitani Namaniya Patit Sri Dunuyadapi Vidyarambe Vivahesha Praveshe Nirgamitata Sangrame Sankateshcheva Vignastasya Najayate Bole Sri Gajanan Swami Ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Panditji. So, most of you all will know I really don't like to talk much. Or the 10 days we had lots of messages and so on. I don't like to talk too much, Baba. Right? But tonight, my job really is to offer thanks because Chris really doesn't like to talk much either. And he's our secretary. And some of the boys are very shy, so we end up in the same boat all the time. But it is my job now to offer thanks to all those who have made this yajna possible. First of all, when we started, one of the main persons is the Shrota, who has to start the yajna. When we started, Robbie, he opted to this be the Shrota for this year, the main Shrota. And midway, his uncle died. And we didn't have any adult person who joined in the puja. And a little 8-year-old boy had to step up. What we leave for adults to do, a little boy had to step up. And he did it so wonderfully with devotion each evening, going to school during the day and coming late at night. So I want you all to give Sion a round of applause. He stepped up really, and he continued the puja where we had to leave off. We were really on a quandary of what we would have done. But he was there from the beginning, and he was the right person, and he did it well. So, Sion, may Bhagwan continue to bless you with all that you desire in life. You took that as a little boy, and I know that you will continue in the same vein. You were born in the Mandir, and you'll continue in the Mandir, and you did yeoman service for the yajna, and may Lord Ganesh continue to bless you always. Our Mandir committee is not a very large committee. It's a small committee. We might have some with big mouth. But we are not a very large committee. But when we put our hands together and we put all our minds together, we are able to conquer any task that we want to. And we do it with your support. Not by ourselves, but by your support. Every individual that would have come throughout this 10 evening would have had some ties or some liking for the Mandir. Whether you are a stranger, whether you're a relative, whether you're a supporter. There are people here who continue, whether we share the invitation or not. When Ganesh Puja time comes, they find themselves here. We have those who don't want their names to call, but they continue to support the Mandir. 10 nights is not an easy task, Baba. You know this. It's not an easy task. And if you have a hard taskmaster, it's worse. When you have somebody who wants things to be in place and everything has to be in the right place, the right time, and look spectacular always. It's hard. Not much people could cope with people like that. But we do it well. We want to offer all our support to all those who would have contributed financially or otherwise to making this yajna possible. Thank you from the bottom of our heart, and may Lord Ganesh and Mother Lakshmi continue to bless you in whichever way you would have helped physically, cash, items, donation, parasad stuff. There's one family, they donate all the parasad for all the nights because they see the value of supporting dharma. Right? So, may Bhagwan continue to bless all of you all. For the last 30 years, Panditji have been with us here at the Mandir. That is about my whole life. Around 30 years, right? He has been with us here every single year for as long as we could remember for the last 30 years. And this year he shared with his sons and they performed the yagna. They read for the yajna. And boy, it was a wonderful yajna. So I wanted to give Panditji a round of applause. Magnificent. And for the last 50 years, he has been doing this. He is probably one of the most senior pundits in this country who continue to spread dharma. There's no mama and papa business here, you know. This is dharma. When Panditji sits on the Singhasan, no comic book business and thing. From the pages, the golden pages of our holy books, he expounds to us in his own style. That style that is unique to him. Even his sons, they have different styles. If you would recall, each one of them have a different style, right? And they do it so well. Panditji Baba, you did an excellent job with these boys. You did an excellent job with them. Now they can hold their own end. Well, they could hold it a long time, but sometimes they get a little scared and so on. But they did a marvelous job. So I want to congratulate Pandit Videsh and Pandit Vishesh on a wonderful job that you all continue to do. And you know your task book already for next year. So you can't say anything about doing it in public. Right? So we feel at home when you all are here. And I'm sure that you all feel the same way too because of the number of years you have been with us. Right? Our Pandit Sachidanand is one of us. He's here every Sunday. Whether we have 10 people, whether we have 5 people, whether the rain falling, whether it have cricket, whether it is a birthday for somebody, whether you do wherever you do, the rains fall, the cows underwater, Baba in the temple. He is here with us, supporting us all the way. When we have an event, Panditji in the trenches with us, you know. Put on your apron, put on your cap, and he with us all the way. And this is what we have with our Pandit. Baba, thank you very, very much. You have been here with us for the last 10 years? 11 years. Well, that's a whole lifetime too. And the time just flew, that 11 years. And Panditji has been with us, and we continue to have a wonderful relationship. When you have pundits that will continue to serve you all the time, here we're talking about 30 years, we're talking about 11 years, 15 years. What is that telling you? It is telling you about loyalty. It's telling you about service. It's telling you about dharma. It's about taking care of your people. And this is what the pundits do. They continue to do it. And we are very much appreciative of all that they do. So to all our shrotas who sat for all the nights, thank you very much. The members of the management committee, all those who came each evening and supported, all those who came, they made malas, they brought flowers, they brought leaves, they came and swept. So many people would have took a part in making sure all that we do, it comes out really beautiful. So when you come for puja in the evening time, you can have a wonderful time. Mandirs do operate by standing back, you know. Remember I told you all that Hinduism is an active religion. We are not passive. You can't stand on the wayside because when you stand on the wayside, things happen and pass you by. But Hinduism is an active religion. You are part of it. When you sit for puja, you can't just sit down there and Baba go say, do the prayers and everything will happen, you know. What you have to do, use your own hands. You use your own hands. So this is what Sanatan Dharma is about. Participation, being part of it. And so many people made this possible. So we want to thank you all very, very much. And we hope to, and we look forward to your continued success. We really have a nice little team going on. I quarrel, Chris listen. I quarrel, Arvin do. I quarrel, Sally quarrel back. That is what it's all about. Because you have different varying views of what things should be. And then when I go home and say, wait, boy, some of them may even come and help me today. And then we hear a lecture. And then it'll go forth. And then say, well, we'll just continue. We'll just continue doing what we have to do to the best way that we can do it. And that's what it's all about. Whatever you do, do it the best way that you can do. And Bhagwan Ganesh will surely give you the strength to go. We were wondering how we will make this 10 days. You think that the Yagna started 10 days? On the 20th of August, we had the digging of the dirt, the puja for the digging of the dirt. And the entire kitchen was in mud for 1 month. The entire kitchen was in mud for 1 month because we made murtis for other temples as well. So when I think we're only doing it for we did it for 7, 8 more temples. We made their murtis as well. So we made ours and we made theirs. And Chris tell me they won't come out better than we won't. But it's the labor of love to see about others. We see about others. We take care of others. Right? I used to always tell Radhika this in school, You take care of people's children and God is take care of yours. You remember that, Rad? So when you take care of others, things happen. You help others. Right? We help other temples. And in turn, we get the help and the blessings from that. So from then on, every single day, we were here. Every single day, we were here. On the evening time, a morning time, Saturday, a Sunday. Because if you understand the nature of dirt, if you put up a hand, it falls along. If you don't know how to fix it, right? And we did this as a labor of love. So to all the boys who came out each day for the making of the murtis, the painting of the murtis, and all of that, thank you very, very much. Your blessings for you is in Bhagwan. It comes from Bhagwan. Now, I could call about 4 people together and say, well, we need to get a murti, and the murti is $20,000. And each one of them will put $5,000, and you get a beautiful, big, tall murti you could even lift up. But that's not what Ganesh Puja is. It is not that. You see, it's a labor. Baba talked about you have to take out the dirt from the river. You have to clean the dirt. You mix the dirt with the cotton. You knead it. You pound it. That dirt goes through so much. And then you sculpt the murti. You take the name of Lord Ganesh and you sculpt the murti of Lord Ganesh. And you know where you start? With a Ganesh murti, you don't start from the head. You have to start from the foot. That alone tells us when you go to Bhagwan, start by his feet. You're humble. All these are lessons that Bhagwan Ganesh gives to us. And when the murti is made, the eyes are closed. The eyes of the murti. Don't open the murti. Sometimes you see it's banded with a cloth. Because everything that Lord Ganesh sees is his. Everything that comes out of him, he blesses. And the appropriate time and moment, that is removed and the dots are placed on the eyes of the murti, giving life to Bhagwan Ganesh. And for these evenings, we will worship the same dirt that some of us may not want to put our hands in. That dirt becomes one that we could worship and get the blessings. You see how important Bhagwan will bless us all. It's all the pounding, the hardships, and all of that goes to make something beautiful. So we had a wonderful 10 days. Thank you all very much for coming. We have a wonderful night planned. We have beautiful music. Abhijit is here and his group is here. Victoria Maharaj and her group is here. Stay on for the night. Tomorrow's no school. Tomorrow's no work. Well, people, let's take off for cricket. What happened to Puja? Eh, Baba? Come to puja. Puja last. So you have a wonderful evening. Those of you who have to come and do your puja for the last evening, you can come and enjoy the wonderful evening with us here today. Meals are prepared for all of you.